Let us see our next question. Stock A is in equilibrium, means the price of the equity share is as what it should have been, and sales at a price of rupees 20 per share. So P0, current market price of equity share, is given as rupees 20. If the expectation with respect to the stock is fulfilled, its equilibrium price a year hence will be rupees 21.20, 6% higher than the current price. So we are expecting that at the end of the year, the price will be 21.2. However, several factors could change in the course of a year and alter its equilibrium price. So there are a number of factors which are likely to change. Suppose the value of the underlying factors change as follows. Value of the underlying factor, original is given, RF is 10, RM minus RF is 4, beta is 1.25, and growth rate is 6%. Revised, RF is given, RM minus RF is given, beta is given, and again the growth rate is given. The question says that so you're required to compute revised P0. I request all of you to go through the question and then we will understand how to calculate answer. Let us have understanding that's how to make the calculation of answer. Dear students, importantly the question says that so you're required to compute the revised P0. So basically we are required to focus on the revised factors. We can see that so the information is provided to us with respect to the RF, with respect to beta and RM and RF. So what we can do, we can make the computation like this. The revised required rate of return is equal to RF plus beta into RM minus RF. This is what we can compute. Risk-free rate of return is 9. Beta is 1.33 and RM minus RF is 3. So it is 9 plus 3.99. So the total of both of them is 12.99. That is the way the required rate of return can be calculated. We know that so for the purpose of P0, the formula is D1 upon KE minus C. As far as the cost of equity is concerned, that we have calculated 12.99%. As far as the growth rate is concerned, that also provided to us as 8%. Now the only thing that we are required to compute is the D1. Now for the purpose of the D1 calculation, we understand that we are required to use the present information, because we have not been provided with the information about the dividend taking into account the revised information. So in the original information, we can say that if at all we see this formula, then in this formula all the information are available to us except for D1. You can see that so the equilibrium price is provided to us in the example as 20 rupees per share. So over here P0 is provided to us as 20 rupees. Cost of equity can be calculated using RF, beta, RM, RF difference. Growth rate is provided to us as 6%. So what we can do, we can make the computation of the dividend using this original information. Once we make this calculation, afterwards making calculation of answer is very simple. So please write an answer of the question. Working note number 1, calculation of required rate of return, in bracket I am writing revised, because that we can compute easily, 12.99%. RF plus beta into RM minus RF. The risk-free rate of return is provided to us as 9%. beta is 1.33, Rm minus Rf is 3. 9 plus 3.99, that comes to 12.99. That is the way the required rate of return can be calculated. Working note number 2, calculation of required rate of return. In bracket I am writing original. The reason behind that is we want to compute the D1. So in that case we understand P0 is equal to D1 upon K minus E. So as far as the D1 is concerned, it is P0 into K minus E. What is the current market price of equity share? Current market price of equity share is 20. What is cost of equity? Cost of equity is, we are required to compute the required rate of return. So it is Rf plus beta into Rm minus Rf. Rf is provided to us as 10%. Yes. Beta is given 1.25. Yes. Rm minus Rf is given 4. Yes. So over here Rf is 10. Beta is 1.25. Rm minus Rf is 4. So 10 plus 5. So that comes to 15%. That is the way the required rate of return can be calculated. Working note number 3. Calculation of D1. In bracket I am writing once again using the original information. Friends, you can see that the current market price of equity share is given as 20 rupees. So P0 is equal to D1 upon K minus E. So as far as the D1 is concerned, it is P0 into K minus C. P0 is provided to us in the example as 20 rupees. Cost of equity is 15%. And growth rate is 6%. This is 6%. So what will happen? 20 rupees into 0.09, that comes to rupees 1.80. That is the way the D1 can be calculated using the original information. Afterwards, we'll make importantly the working for revise the D1. That is the most important working note according to me. Working note number 4. Calculation of revise the D1. Now, how we are supposed to make calculation and why this working note is important, let me explain that to you. Dear students, we understand that right now the growth rate is 6% and the revised growth rate is 8%. So what happens at say this D1 information which is given to us in the question is using the growth rate of 6%. Now the same dividend will grow at the rate of 8%. So we understand that it is current dividend, that is current D1 divided by 1 plus C into 1 plus C. This is what we understand. D1 is 1.8 rupees, 1 rupee 80 paise divided by 1 plus growth rate, which is 6%, and the revised growth rate is 8%. So divided by 1.06 into 1.08. That comes to 1.8339 or a 1.8340. That is the way we are supposed to make the computation of the D1. Okay. Now we understand that say we'll compute the revised P0. We can have understanding of this working note once again like this. With an alternative manner, we can say that so the D1 is equal to D0 into 1 plus C. Currently, what is D1? 1 rupee 80 paise. So D0 will be found as balancing figure using the growth rate of 6%. So as far as the D0 is concerned, it is 1.8 divided by 1.06. That comes to 1.6981. So this is the way you can compute first of all D0, and you know that say now the growth rate is 8%. So what you can do, friends, D1 is equal to D0 into 1 plus C once again. D0 is 1.6981. And what is the growth rate? Growth rate is 8%. That comes to 1.8339. That is 1.8340. That is the way revised D1 can be calculated. This is what we understand. Okay. Now after making this calculation, we can make the computation of P0. Calculation of revised P0. Revised P0 can be calculated as D1 upon Ke minus C. We understand that so the revised D1 is 1.8340 divided by cost of equity. You can see that so the revised cost of equity has been found by us. It is 12.99%. Less growth rate is 8%. This is 8%. So 1.8340 divided by 0.0499. 1.834 divided by 0.0499. That comes to 36 rupees 75 paise. That is the way revised P0 can be found. It is 36.50. So I just give summary of the entire answer. Dear students, first of all, we have made the calculation of the revised required rate of return. It is 12.99%. Then we have made the computation of the current required rate of return 15%. The reason behind that is that say we want to compute the dividend. Then we have computed that say what is the current D1, and importantly this D1 is supposed to be revised taking into account the new growth rate, that is 8%. That is 1.8340. Afterwards we compute the revised P0. It is D1 divided by K minus C. What is D1? It is 1.8340 divided by revised cost of equity 12.99%, less growth rate of 8%. With that, so the revised P0 is found.